As the 2025-26 Nigeria Premier Football League season draws closer, the league is making headlines not just for the impending footballing action, but for a bold stance against a growing concern of players and officials engaging in betting or match-fixing activities involving league matches. In a circular dated August 6, 2025, NPFL Chief Operating Officer Davidson Owumi reaffirmed the league's zero-tolerance policy on betting-related offences. Players, coaches, officials, even backroom staff face expulsion, heavy fine, and possible prosecution for involvement in betting or match fixing. But beyond the announcement of the ban and attendance sanctions lies a bigger question. Can this move restore credibility and attract the kind of sponsorship the NPFL desperately needs?
The issue of betting has been a problem for the Nigerian League in the past few years or thereabouts, and it's been a systemic one because it's not just the players, even administrators, officials have indulged in this act, and sometimes it has sabotaged the game that a lot of people have come to love. There have been accusations, allegations, and a lot of them have not been substantiated to a large extent. But when these allegations do not go away, you tend to believe that yes, these things are actually real. And a lot of games, as time goes on, we've seen a lot of such instances across social media and across league venues, and that's just how deepened it has been into our system.
The league management have sent a clear message, but its long-term goal is not really about punishment. In a league where corporate sponsorship has often been unstable, integrity is the most valuable currency. They believe that competition both on and off the field is free and fair from external influence. Sports marketing experts say betting and match-fixing scandals can drive brands away and passion and poison fan trust.
We have to be clear about betting. Has anyone been punished? Has anyone been found guilty? It's important. It's not just enough to mention someone's name when an investigation has not been done. But then talking about brand perception, it is very important, for a crackdown on betting. It's important to have to influence brand perception. If you are perceived as a league where results are not, other factors determine results on the field, then that's a wrong brand perception already.
With the right image, the NPFL could follow the path of strong leagues like the South African PSL and Morocco's Botola Pro 1, whose clear codes of conduct have helped boost commercial growth.
I've been in a stadium in Nigeria where the home team was leading a game 2-0, and the ultras were behind the away team's post and walking around the home team's, dugouts, and we are angry. And some people were wondering, why are they angry? The home team is leading 2-0. But the issue was that a lot of them placed a bet for goal, which means both sides to score. And with the game 2-0 towards the end, it meant that they would have lost their bet, and they were shouting at the captain, they were shouting at the coaches, they were shouting at the players on the bench. They were making so much noise. I was there. Then all of a sudden, the away team scored to make the scores 1-1. We saw the home team ultras rejoice that the away team scored. It was obvious. So, like I said, players bet, coaches bet, fans bet, and it's a menace in Nigerian football.
If top leagues in America and Europe are thinking fan engagement, and here when Nigeria will not, the NPFL doesn't consider fan engagement. So what's the future of the league? How do you get Nigerians to follow the league? It's not something you need to joke with. It's something you need to sit down and think about properly. Talking about commercial partnerships, right? When you can, it's something they also need to sit down again and properly think. And it's not just going on TV to say Nigerians should come and sponsor. What are you giving back to these companies? It's not. There must be something you are giving back. There must something that there must be a benefit for Nigeria, even Nigerian brand.
I don't know how serious it is. Or what measures they're going to take. How do they monitor players that bet, especially those that do not have to go to an actual betting shop? They could just bet at home with their handheld devices. How are these monitored? I wouldn't know, but it would be a good thing to crack down on betting in the Nigerian league.
To tackle this menace of sports betting, it is not something the league body or even the football house can do on their own. It is something that everyone has to come on board in terms of the Nigerian systems, the investigative arm of the Nigerian police, you know, every security apparatus we have in the country. So when you talk about the structures and the mechanism put in place, it is something that has to be holistic. We must not leave the NPFL alone to tackle this if we are really serious about tackling it.
Make no mistake about it, match fixing by betting syndicate is a major global problem. In 2013, Chris Eaton, the former head of security of FIFA, described the spectre of match fixing as a crisis. Countless clubs and players from Africa, Europe, Asia and Australia have been punished by domestic law enforcement for bringing the game into disrepute. The NPFL wants to avoid that fate and position itself as a trustworthy player in African football. Still, questions remain about enforcement. Critics argue that past warnings haven't always been followed with action. Questions have been raised about monitoring mechanisms put in place to track strange betting patterns. Others point to the need for education, especially for players who may not fully understand the rules.
Over the years, there are rumors about two types of match fixing situations in the Nigerian league system. One has to be the actual betting, when players or coaches or officials bet on their own games, and the other is selling, what we call selling of games, when a team needs to finish higher or avoid relegation. They talk to other teams to lose their games, especially when the other team is probably higher, position higher on the table than them. So these are the two different fronts, and it has been there for longer. No one has really actually proved it, because again, there are no real mechanism set up to be able to prove this stuff.
I'm not sure we have the structure. I just mentioned a bit of that to check betting. I mean, how do you check betting? How are you going to observe players? How are you going to know those that bet online? What about if I have a friend and I say, don't worry, the home team will concede in the first half, and I make a mistake and the home team concedes a goal? How will you know all of that? So I think it's one thing to say these things. It's another thing to actually, go all out to nip it in the bud.
If a proper brand communication department was existing, somebody will have seen some of these letters that come out and say, no, this is not good. And you don't write press releases like it's a personal vendetta, or you want to fight somebody. It's not street fight. No, that's not what the way. You look at the tone of press releases from the NPFL. It's like they are fighting the personal battle. No.
It all starts with continuous sensitization and education. It's good when I hear that some clubs are already including betting clauses in their contracts, that if you are found or alleged to have placed sport bets in games involving us, your contract can be terminated. It starts from that, So I hope that these clubs can continue to educate their players. But like I said earlier, some of the officials are involved. So both players and officials of the clubs have to be put on the edge.
Even the coaching crew on the dangers of betting, because it goes just beyond betting on games. Sometimes the fans are also involved too, where they can attack teams or a player because they felt he gambled on a game, or they gambled on a game, they placed the betting on a game, and the result did not turn out because of player's mistake or his inability to stop a goal or score a goal, and the players get attacked. So it's an awesome package that the league body needs to work on to be effective and to deliver the point from the fans to the players and of course to the league managers, including the coaching crew.
As the new NPFL season prepares for kickoff, its crackdown on betting and match fixing may prove to be more than just a disciplinary step. It could be a game changer. From integrity to investment, the league's future may depend on what happens off the pitch. In Lagos for News Central, Favour Itwa.